If you can learn these 4 chords, then you can probably play this. I've been meaning to teach this song for a while. It's one of my favorites. It's super fun to learn, and only 2 different sections. So let's start by learning the basic shapes, and we'll add rhythm later. So the first thing we have to do is this, F sharp minor, but we're playing an inversion. It's C sharp, F sharp, A from bottom to top. Just like that. Next, move the middle note, which is my 3rd finger on F sharp, down to a 2nd finger on E. Watch this. Just like that, C sharp, E, A, slight difference. Chord number 1, number 2. So get that together first. Then, a little more involved, it's a 4-note chord coming up, B minor 7. You could also think of it as a D6. Don't really worry about that, just get the notes. B, D, F sharp, and A. And then, finally, B, E, G sharp from bottom to top. This is an E major chord. And then there's a slight move that happens during this chord, which involves the top note, the G sharp, going up to an A, creating a suspension, and then it comes back down. In my mind, this is 1 chord. It's just a slight little movement, a suspension and a resolution. They're still both in the family of E major. They're E chords. So let's review. Number 1, number 2, number 3, and finally, E major, number 4. And if you like, consider that a 5th chord. And then we come back to E major. So just get these under your fingers before you do anything else. As you can see by watching my right hand, there's nothing dramatic. We're not jumping around too much. So keep your movements small and controlled. Don't stress out. Don't twist your fingers. Don't do anything crazy. Now let me explain the rhythm and the time. So this song is in 12/8, 12/8 notes. Like that. So you can think of this as 4 big groups of 3, because 4 times 3 is 12. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's your 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are your 12/8 notes. Thinking in big groups is helpful, instead of thinking about 12 little things. Nobody really thinks about it that way. So starting with the first chord, the F sharp minor, we're going to play 2 groups of 3, 2 full beats. Just like that. The next chord, where you just move that middle finger down a little bit to C sharp, E, A, we're not going to do a full beat. Right? We're not going to do 3/8 notes, only 2. It's kind of incomplete, so that's it. For the final beat, you're going to move to the next chord, the B minor 7, a little bit early. It's anticipated. So it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's a little bit early. Again. Once you get that, do another full beat of the B minor 7. So you basically play that one 4 times in a row. It's a little bit displaced. So again. Just like that. The next part is easy. We play the E major, B, E, G sharp 6 times. So it's 2 full beats. Then let's raise our top finger, the G sharp, up to A, make a suspension. 3 times, full beat. Bring it back home for a full beat to the G sharp. So the last measure is really easy. It's just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, pinky, back down. So the entire progression. Notice that I'm accenting the big beats. It just helps. Accent. Boom. Right? So that's a good idea, just to keep track of where you are. Now let's pretend we've played that chord progression twice already. We're on the third revolution. What we're gonna do is not only add some left hand that I'll show you in a moment, which kind of mimics the guitar part, but we have to move our right hand down a little bit. Same chords for the most part, but just inversions. So instead of doing this for the F sharp minor, which you're already familiar with, we're gonna flip it upside down, sort of, and do this. A, C sharp, F sharp. It's just a bit lower. Like that. And we're gonna play it 1, 2, 3, one beat, 2, 2, 3, second beat, that's 6 times, and then we're just gonna play it 2 more times. So it's like 8 eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Because after that, we're gonna move our middle note to D. That's the only change. Just like that. So let me show you what it looks like. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Again, kind of an anticipation in the middle of the big beat. It can be a bit disorienting. To sum things up, you're essentially doing this chord 8 times and this one 4 times. And then the rest of it is all the same. You just go up to E. You remember this chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Move up to the pinky. 1, 2, 3. Move back down. 1, 2, 3. That's all the same. So let me show you the third revolution. Now the fourth and final revolution. Same. Notice that I stop right on that E chord on the 7th time, kind of as a longer landing. 7. And we do that because it takes a little bit of time to jump down and get ready for the verse. Okay, let's review the introduction. So back to the top. Second time. Now third time, you have to move. Fourth time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you stop. That's your introduction. Now the left hand will come in on the third revolution of the chord progressions, like I mentioned earlier. First time is just the right hand, second time the drums come in. But third time, you can imitate the guitar and do this. F sharp octave with your left hand, C sharp, D, D again, E. Sound familiar? Again. If that's too hard, you can do single notes. That's fine, just not as much power, right? Now, if we put that together with the right hand, first 2 revolutions are just right hand. Second time. Third time, remember we come down with the right hand and the left hand can come in with the F sharp. That's it, you stop right there. Now getting into the verse. The reason we're kind of stopping there and giving ourselves a little bit of a breather is because we have to move down in register and play 3 chromatic minor 7 chords in a row. So it's the same chord 3 times, just moving in half steps, which could be a little bit tricky on the piano just because of how things feel. So you'll recognize it. Like that. So this will lead you into the verse. So you have to do this. C sharp, C, B, left hand, pretty easy. Do them in octaves if you can. Just like that. Right hand plays B, E, G sharp. Bring it all down one note. B flat, E flat, G. down one note again, A, D, F sharp. Together. Might take a little practice. And that will lead you right into your verse. So now the verse, we're going to start right where we left off with that transition I just showed you. So we're going to play this B minor 7, which is a really pretty chord, 6 times. So it's 2 full beats, right? 2 groups of 3. Then we're going to retrace our steps up to C sharp minor 7, which we've also just done. 6 times, so 2 beats of 3. So that's pretty cool. We're recycling stuff that we already know. But now something a bit different. You have to bring your left hand up to F sharp, and your right hand has to play C sharp, E, F sharp, A. I like fingers 1, 2, 3, 5. Chromatic movement again. So you see we needed a little bit of a gap. Okay, so that's 2 revolutions through the chord progression. So you want to do that chord progression 2 times. And then on the 3rd time, there's going to be a slight difference. Let me show you. So we'll start with the same thing. B minor 7, 6 times. C sharp minor 7, 6 times. But now here's the difference. I want you to play D major 7 here. So it's D in the left hand, octave. Right hand is C sharp, F sharp, A, which is kind of familiar, right? You've done this before. And then just an E chord. So E in the left hand, B, E, G sharp right hand. And then you can keep it there for the C sharp minor 7. Chromatic. Do that again. D major 7. And now we're on the 5th and final revolution of the chord progression. But what you have to do is go up an octave. Still A, D, F sharp, just up here. Up to C sharp minor 7. But then we're actually going to hop back down and play a B minor 7, which you've done before, back in the intro. B, D, F sharp, A. But because I have a D octave in the left hand, it's kind of a D6 chord, right? Kind of a D major 6. But it doesn't really matter, as long as you play the right notes. Do that 6 times. And then finally, just play an E major chord however you like 6 times. So your verse in total is this. Second time. And then hold the line right near in the chorus. So that's pretty much all the material that you need to play the song, because the chorus is the same, right, as the introduction. You're going to do some verses. Underneath the guitar solo, it's the verse chords. So all the material's there. You're good to go. But if you want to add a couple little things that'll make it nicer, pay attention to the piano part that David Page, I think it's David Page playing, probably is. He is adding a nice crescendo on each chord change. So he's going like, right? Right? And sometimes you can't even hear him playing the chords in the very beginning of each progression. He might not be. He might be going, right? Rather than just hammering them all at the same volume. Right? He's definitely not doing that. So pay attention to those nuances. Another thing that you can do if you're bored is beef up the left hand of the piano part by mimicking the guitar part. So what I mean is in the verse, Pay close attention under the vocals and you'll hear that Steve Lukather is playing that line. You can do that in your left hand if you want for something like this. Do-do-doon-doon-doon, right? It's kind of cool just to add a little bit of flavor. Here's how that line goes. Like I said earlier, as far as the piano part goes, that is all of the material that you need. Just listen to the future verses and choruses and guitar solos and you'll hear that it's all of that material from those two sections. So I'm not really going to go through the rest of it and hold your hand through it because it'll make the video unnecessarily long and will also increase the chances that I get some copyright issues from YouTube. So let's avoid that. We don't need that. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. Leave me a comment and let me know how this is going for you guys. Is it easy? Is it hard? Is it somewhere in the middle? I really want to know. I'm curious. Don't forget to like the video if it was helpful, subscribe, tell your friends, come back in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next one.